What's going on, guys? In this episode, we're going to modify those FG F6 headlights that we pulled apart. These ones here, I'm going to paint them and fit some projectors to them. Let's get into it. Alright, first up, obviously we've already pulled these headlights apart. Just lenses off and everything like that. So I'm going to show you how to remove all these reflectors, and I'm also going to show you how to remove the insides of this so we can paint and prep what we need. And then later on we'll obviously have to remove all this sealant. That is the permaseal, because we're going to replace that with the proper headlight sealant that I've got here as well. So we'll start off with removing the insides of the headlight itself. So you have a few points where it mounts in. So you got a point back here, which some of these have a clip, some don't. I noticed the factory headlight that I had didn't have that clip. You have a mount down the bottom there as well, which you can get with either a long screwdriver, or you can use a socket and push it over the top. And then you got this connection here as well. That one you just turn 90 degrees with a pair of pliers, and then that's pretty much it, like fully disconnected, and you can just pull it out from there. On this side you've got Phillips head screw there, and then you should have another one at the back. No you don't. Maybe you've only got the one. I didn't really pay attention. Yep, so it looks like just that one there, and this whole thing will come out. So let's get into it. Alright, so I'm just going to wear some gloves for this. I don't really want to get my fingerprints over everything on this light. So these are just some cheap disposable gloves. Especially when you're handling the projectors, you don't really want to get fingerprints on them, so woo! Alright, so the first one is that one there, so we're just going to twist that. Like so. Now that one's loose. Quick and easy, right? The second one, try and second go up here. So that clip there. You know, if it works, it works. And then just get like a flat blade or a prying tool and gently lever that out. So now that one's off. That one's off. Just leaves that bottom one there. A bit hard to see because everything's bloody reflective on this light. So we're going to go for that one there. This is a bit of a tricky one to do. And you'll probably scratch it up a little bit getting it out. Now realistically you should only have to remove this if you're painting everything. I just want to make that clear, because if you're putting in a chrome projector like this one that I'm going to use, chrome matches everything, so there's no need to actually remove anything out of the headlight. But if you're me and you want to make things difficult, you have to remove it. So bear with me, guys.
One eternity later.
As you can see, I got it out. So when you guys are doing this, I just learned, and it took me literally 20 minutes to figure this out, is you can't get that part out, but you can get that part out. So basically all that is once you've popped off all these, is you can basically undo that and undo it all the way, and it literally just unscrews through that. And when you're obviously putting it all back together, just line it back up and then tighten it up. So pretty easy. It just took a little bit of trial and error to really get that. I don't know how they expect people to undo that center bit, but anyway, it's off. We can now put this housing aside. Put that aside as well. And we go to this part. Now I'm just going to put down my matting so I don't scratch the front lens. If you guys don't have matting, you can just put some painter's tape over the front housing, which is the blue masking tape. That way it doesn't get scratched or anything like that, and it's easy to remove, and it leaves very minimal, if any, residue behind. So now we've got this here. So we have a couple of screws. So you've got one screw there, you've got another screw there, and you have a screw there. Once you undo those, you can pull that apart, and there's a few hidden screws. No, that's it actually, just those couple of screws there. So let's get into it. Alright, so those three are now removed. Should be able to just pull this out. There's probably a bit of sealant that's holding it in, just on the lip side here, and then you've got this end up here that also holds it in. So let's grab a popping tool. This is where you don't want to damage the lens, because you can't really fix it easily. Yeah, so I've got some sealant here that's holding it in. Which looks like it's glued from when they put this whole thing together. And it looks like I've got a little bit up the top here. So basically that one piece of glue there is holding the whole lot in. Alright guys, sorry for the cut off there. SD card had a bit of an issue. So, got it all apart after a little bit of struggling. Just all of this sealant seems to be so thick on the inside that it just catches on every little part of that as well. So, while we're not using this, always place this face down so it doesn't get, you know, excess amount of dust in there. There will be dirt and stuff like that inside, but you can always clean that out. That's not an issue. So, we'll just place that aside. And this is what you're left with. So the model that I purchased obviously has the gloss black. You can buy the chrome one, which is, this is all chrome. Some cars that'll suit, like the G6 ETs, where their front badges and front grills are all chrome and stuff like that. So or silver, whatever. But basically I'm going to paint this, and then I'm going to paint these as well, which obviously sit behind, like so. I'm going to keep this gloss black, I think, because that sort of suits the Panda inserts on the front of my car. And then I've got the big projector, which I'll paint that. And then I've got the smaller projector as well, which I'll paint as well. So, but basically that's sort of the look we're going to go for. It looks a little bit skewy in the camera. These are a pretty cool sort of setup. So those grills at the back will actually light up blue. The front halo will be white, and then I'll have an RGB demon eye on this side, and then I'll have a standard red one on this side, and then that one, that halo there, lights up white as well. So this is the fun part of prepping for paint. Obviously the more prep you do, the better the product, the better the finish. These are obviously, pardon me, going to be a little bit more tedious, getting every sort of nook and cranny, because painting any sort of chrome or chrome plated or painted chrome is a little bit hard. So to pull these things apart, you literally, I've only got one screw in there at the moment, but you've got 4 screws holding in the back halo, and then this front halo just unclips like that. And then same with this one here. Just got a couple of screws holding it in, and then this front halo pops off, so the shroud is all separate, and you can paint it separately as well. Now, to have these so all the wires and stuff like that you don't see, you will have to modify the larger side. So with this smaller side, you can actually run the cables around and then run them up through the factory Parker globe hole, which is there. But there's no Parker globe hole in the high beam side, low beam side, sorry. So we'll actually have to physically drill or elongate a hole to fit all of these wires through. So we'll get into it, I guess. We'll dismantle this housing here, so everything's apart. So all you need to do this is flip it over on the back, and you've got 3 clips, 2 clips on either side. So you've got a clip here, a locating tab there, and then on the high beam side you've got a clip there and a clip there and the locating tab there. So that's pretty easy of just pushing the clips in. You might need a flat blade screwdriver to do it, which is over here, just on these little ones here. So just apply a little bit of pressure and push in. You might have to do one side at a time on these ones. A little bit fiddly. So we push that clip out. And then keep some pressure on it at the same time while you're pulling out. And do that, basically. And I did accidentally break a clip on this one. which I broke that one. But that's not an issue because these are never going to come back out again. So when I place these back in, I'll probably just JB weld them in, to be honest. So that's basically just the bare minimum. We're going to leave this all nice and glossy black, but these obviously sit in like so. So cool. And we'll do this side now. Same idea. Just applying a little bit of pressure. Probably not as much as I just did. There we go, clip 1. And on the other side, clip 2. And then you pull it from the top down and out. Easy as that, guys. Alrighty, so I've got both headlights apart now. These are all the chrome parts that I'm going to end up painting. So these I'm going to color code to the car, and then the indicator reflectors I'm just going to do a satin black finish on those. So nobody likes watching people sand in real time, so I'm just going to do a time lapse on this for you guys to cut through it a little bit quicker, but I've got the painful job of doing this. You guys have the good job of just watching. So enjoy. Alright guys, so the abrasive pad that I used was these ones here. So I just used a fine one. The quality difference between aftermarket stuff and factory stuff is chalk and cheese. This chrome came off way too easily, so it wasn't a huge pain in the ass to rub it down, but basically you just scuff it up so most of the shiny stuff is gone. These were a bit of a pain in the ass getting inside the reflector into there, but they came out pretty good. So I'm just using some wax and grease remover or Prepsol to prep the surface ready for primer. Got myself a glove on each hand so the oils off my fingers doesn't affect the newly cleaned surface that will be priming. So we'll get into that right now. Just using a normal rag, nothing too special. And we throw a little bit of cleaner onto that and yeah, get through it. So just cleaning that one part, you can see that this cloth is absolutely filthy now. So move it around to a clean surface again. And just give it another quick wipe over. Make sure you're getting into every nook and cranny that you know that you're going to hit with some paint. You won't have any issues when you do the spray painting side of it, and the finish comes out amazing. Alright, so that one looks pretty clean. Still a little bit of crap on that, but I'm happy with how that one looks, so we'll just get onto it and I'll just time lapse through this one for you. Alright guys, so I've set it up, ready to prime the chrome bits. Haven't yet done the shrouds yet, I'll probably do them last because they're obviously a lot more time consuming. But I've set it up, these are all still clean from the wax and grease remover. The primer I'm using is a VHT engine enamel primer, just because they're obviously going to be in a very hot, front end near the motor with a set of headlights inside of them, globes, sorry, and obviously out in the sun. So what you got to do is check the can. You guys all sort of know how to paint, I would imagine. If not, you're about to learn, I guess. And just do light coat and then a heavy coat, and then we'll go from there. So we'll go get into it. Alright, so we'll just let that sit there and dry for a bit, probably about 10-15 minutes, 20 minutes maybe. And then we'll get back into it and probably do another light coat, because that covered really quickly, really well. And then we can look into adding some paint. Alright, it's been about 20 minutes. I'm just going to do another quick light coat just to make sure they cover.